Good evening, fuckers. So, Titan Cocijo, which has moved to Sol and is currently orbiting planet Earth, is now completely vulnerable. And, oh dear, not a great start. Anyway, yes, it's now completely vulnerable, and thanks to what is effectively a community event, you really want to have a go at dealing some damage to it. But why would you want to do that? And more importantly, how do you do that? Well, that's where this video comes in. Okay, so we'll start then with the obvious one, which is why would you want to do it? Well, there's two reasons. Firstly, the rewards that are on offer. Look in the transactions. Now, I am currently in the top 75%, and the actual CG has just reached tier 2, which means that I'm currently set to receive 30 million credits for being in the top 75. But if you take part just once and deal just, it doesn't matter how slight damage you deal, as long as you deal some damage, it will put you in the top 100%, and that means that currently you are set to receive 20 million credits. It's not bad, but the credit reward is definitely not the big one. The big one is that anybody who takes part, again, doesn't matter how little damage you deal, as long as you deal some, will receive a frameshift drive, one of the new SCO drives, which has been double engineered. So it will have the improved range, and it will have the reduced boot sequence, which reduces the mass of the FSD itself, which means that you have the furthest jump range that you could possibly have from any FSD. The experimental slot is left open, but you will be able to fit an experimental on there. So whether you prefer deep charge or mass manager, you can fit that onto this particular FSD, and you will have the best FSD range you could possibly get in the game. No question. More importantly, I wasn't entirely true when I said you will get a FSD. You actually get 6 of them. You get one of every class. Class 2 right the way through to class 7. They're all A-rated, obviously, so you get 6 FSDs. You don't want to miss out on that. You'd be crazy, to just skip it. Now, quite a few people who are either in my dangerous friends list or in my squadron or who watch my videos have said that they're not bothering with this because they are hopeless at Thargoid combat. Now, I know, I was going to say I know for a fact. It's more a case of I'm absolutely convinced that at least half of those players are selling themselves short. And in fact, they are definitely good enough to do this. And the chances are that if you're watching this video, you are also interested in taking part, but don't know how to, or you think it's going to be too difficult and you don't really stand a chance. This is another reason why it is well worth doing, because of all the sort of offensive action that you can take against the Thargoids throughout the entire Thargoid war. This is about the easiest of the lot. I'm not exaggerating that just for, you know, effect or whatever. This is the easiest sort of offensive action you can take against the Thargoids. So, you know, it really is well worth doing. So I'll start with showing the loadout of the ship that I'm using. The amount of like equipment that you have to put on the ship to do this is relatively low. There's really only 3 modules that you've got to fit to be able to do this. And even one of those, you can get around it if you don't have access to it, or, you know, for whatever reason you just don't want to put one on. So, you know, as far as like ship type, you can basically use whatever one you like. I'm using the Crite Mark II, which is the second most commonly used ship for this kind of mission. The most common is the Python Mark II. I want a ship that's fast. I want a ship that has decent armour. Shields are not quite so important, but I am not one of these that rates the whole going shieldless routine. I'm not a fan of that. So yeah, this has a good all-round ability. Also, it's not too big, because you're going to find yourself wanting to stay quite close to the Titan fairly often. So yeah, that's why I went with the Crite Mark II, but really you can use any ship you like. Well, within reason. There are some that I'd say, no, don't bother with that one. So, as far as the outfitting goes then, so we'll start with the Guardian Nanite Torpedo Pylon. This is the only Guardian module that I have fitted on this ship. It's also the only Guardian module that is not affected by the anti-Guardian sort of field that you're going to, you know, find yourself facing as soon as you arrive in Seoul, because the Titan's there. I can't be bothered to engineer any of my other Guardian stuff to resist it, so yeah, I just don't use any others. But you do need one of these. You've got to have one of these fitted. So they are available as Class 2 or Class 3. So yeah, make sure that the ship you are choosing has at least one free Class 2 and one free Class 3 slot available once you've fitted the rest of your weapons. As far as the rest of the loadout, the beam laser is Class 3. Now I fitted it with long range and thermal vent, and there's a good reason for this. This is not a weapon that people class as essential. Well, it's not essential, but while you are flying around by the Titan, if you keep your thermal output below 20%, the Thargoids have a really hard time spotting you. You're not invisible, they can still spot you, but it really does reduce your chances of being seen. So yeah, thermal vent is extremely useful. Long range, of course, I can do it from further away. I'm doing it from 6 kilometers away, so yeah, very handy. So on top of the beam laser, you don't have to use a Class 3, even a Class 1 will do the job. You know, this is not there to damage anything, it's there to get your ship cooled down as low as possible, and that's the only reason it's there. So yeah, aside from the beam laser and the Guardian Nanite Torpedo Pylon, everything else is there to do damage to the Titan. Now admittedly, I've got the weediest AX weapons that there are, but like I say, if you are just going to do this once, you just want to do some damage to it so that you've got yourself into you know, into the event, and therefore you will be able to get the rewards, then yeah, these are fine. So that is my weapons loadout. As far as utility mounts, Thyroid pulse neutralizer, you have to have this. Without this, you're not going to be able to reach the Titan. It will send out the pulse, and yeah, it will just keep pushing you back. You won't be able to actually get to the centre. So you've got to be able to get through that pulse. That's where this comes in. Pulse wave Xeno scanner. I don't actually use it. I don't know why I've got a pulse wave Xeno scanner on this thing actually. You would probably, well, you don't really need a Xeno scanner of any kind. You're not going there to take on enemy Thargoid ships. You're going there for one reason only, and that is to try and damage the Titan. You actually spend the rest of the time avoiding other Thargoids rather than going there to take them on. I mean, if a scout comes along, you know, yeah, by all means deal with it. Providing it's not around the Titan, because if you start fighting one scout, every other Thargoid that's around there will notice it and they'll all come piling in. So, yeah, don't do that. But, yeah, if you encounter one while you're on your way there, then, yeah, finish the little fuckers off. Right, I have a shield booster. You know, heavy duty supercapacitors, no surprise it's an AX ship. This is not essential, not by any stretch of the imagination. Final one is essential, caustic sink launcher. The caustic damage that you take as you are going through the Maelstrom cloud approaching the Titan is immense. You really do need one of these. But this is the module where, yeah, okay, it is essential, but there is a workaround if you don't have access to these things. I'm sure everyone does by now, though. You can fit decontamination and repair limpets, and have them sort of fighting the caustic damage that you're going to get. It's nowhere near as efficient. So yeah, this is by far the better option. But yeah, there is an alternative if you really feel it necessary. So that's the utility mounts. Core internals, there's going to be no surprises here. So, military grade composite, heavy duty deep plating, shock horror. Power plant is class 7. This has low emissions and is monstered. Low emissions because, again, you want to be as cool as you possibly can. So, you know, you want the thermal output to be as low as you can get. So, I mean, with this ship loadout, I could easily have fitted a class 5 power plant and it still would have been plenty. But the heat level would be much higher. So by putting on the maximum that I can, a 7A, I can then engineer it with low emissions at grade 5 and still have enough power. As it is, I did rather overdo it, so I had to put the monstered experimental on there. But if you can have low emissions and thermal spread experimental, then you're laughing. Thrusters, shock horror, dirty drive tuning, drag drives. Yeah, I've got one of the pre-engineered class 5 FSDs. This is not an SCO one, but I don't need the range of an SCO, and I don't need the Supercruise overcharge either, because you're not having to travel that far to get to the Titan. So yeah, not important. Life support is miscellaneous reinforced. The power distributor is charge enhanced super conduits, same as always for me. And sensors are lightweight because you don't need long range. You're not doing anything long range while you're out there, so yeah, lightweight. Improve your speed, improve your jump range. You don't really need to improve the jump range, but yeah, it improves the speed, so yeah. Optional internals then. So I have class 6 generator. It's a standard, not bi-weave, which I usually use. So reinforced, I put fast charge on there because the high cap is not really necessary. I'd rather have the faster recharge rate, which again makes me wonder why I didn't put bi-weave on this thing. But, oh well. Now, plenty of these hull reinforcement packages, all engineered to heavy duty with deep plating. So we have 3 class 5s here. Anti-corrosion cargo rack. I don't really need anti-corrosion anymore, but it's handy to have a cargo rack because I have a Xeno limpet controller, so I've got access to I think it's research limpets and the decontamination and repair limpets. So if my if I run out of caustic sink launchers here, obviously I've increased the ammo with the engineering, so I've got 7 of them, actually 8 of them. It's very unlikely that I will run out of ammo in the caustic sink launcher, but if I do, I've got this to fall back on. 2 module reinforcements, can't engineer those. They are, yeah, when you start taking damage to the hull, especially if it's a Thargoid that's firing on you, they always target your modules, so you need some kind of module reinforcement. So yeah, on they go. And a collector limpet controller, I don't use that anymore, but when I first put this ship together, I was using this to salvage module, salvage materials, and anything else that I could get from the Titan. This really isn't needed anymore. I don't know why I've still got it on there, but nevertheless I have. So that's the layout of the ship. The net result of all of the engineering, jump range is 24 light years, which is absolutely fine. You don't even need anything like that much. Shield health is 839. Resistances don't matter one bit because Thargoids always deal absolute damage. Armor health 3310. That is plenty good enough for what we're about to do. The only resistance for armor that matters is caustic resistance, but in order to get caustic resistance, you have to fit either Guardian hull reinforcements, which then need additional power and also need engineering to be resistant to the anti-Guardian technology field that's in the system. It's just not worth the hassle. Or you can fit the meta-alloy hull reinforcements, which you can't engineer those, so I think they're useless. They don't provide anywhere near as much hull reinforcement as a standard one that has then been engineered with heavy duty and deep plating. So I don't worry too much about caustic resistance. I just want sheer armor health, and 3310 is a good amount. Right, so I've already got Sol locked in as the destination, but I'll just show that prior to jumping in, you will want to select the Titan itself. There it is. So yeah, it's orbiting Earth. So we are all set to go. I will also explain that contrary to what Frontier Developments have said, I would come to this system first. I'm in the Lutyens star system and I'm docked on the rescue ship Hutner. And the reason I would come here is because if you go onto the mission board and the community goals, this is where you sign up to this mission here. So yeah, so I'm already signed up. Now Frontier Developments say that you don't have to sign up, and you'll, if you do any damage, it will automatically be added to this whole event. Now Frontier Developments say a lot of things, and turns out to be absolute fucking cobblers, and or it doesn't work or whatever. So I trust Frontier Development's word about as much as I trust the word of a Tory MP. So I would recommend coming to this system, coming to this rescue ship and signing up to the mission. Frontier Development say you don't have to do it. I would advise doing it just to be sure. That way, if it fucks up and you don't get the rewards as you promised, you've got the proof that you've taken part, you know, take a few screenshots or something, you know. So, okay, let's get underway. Now, if you've not done any anything in the Thargoid War, you should be aware that it is highly likely you'll be pulled out of hyperspace, so you'll need to do 2 attempts to jump to Sol. While you're in the Sol and making your way to the Titan itself, you're also very likely to be interdicted. If the ship that interdicts you is scouts, finish them off. If it's a hunter, you know, a glaive, you kind of have to finish it off. They are far too fast, you can't outrun them. If it's an interceptor of any kind, boost away, run away from it. So you're not coming here to take on Thargoids. Yeah, we are going to be pulled out of hyperspace. But yeah, you're not coming here to take on Thargoid ships. You're coming here for one reason only, and that is to damage the Thargoid Titan. I've no idea what interceptor that is. I know it's an interceptor, I could hear it, but I don't know what kind. It's so far out of range, it's almost certainly a Cyclops, and it just cannot keep up with me. Yeah, as soon as we can jump again, there we go, right. Now, as soon as it disappears off your sensors there, you don't need to worry about it, it's gone. So your second attempt at jumping will always be successful. So, yeah, that hazardous environment warning is telling us that, yeah, the Guardian technology field is there. So if you have any Guardian technology that has not been engineered with the resistance to that, then, yeah, it's all going to be rendered inoperative long before you actually reach the Titan itself. Like I said earlier, the one exception is the torpedo launcher. That one is immune to it. I had a feeling this was going to happen. Now if this turns out to be a basilisk, no, it's not a Cyclops, so we'll outrun this no problem. Yeah, if it turned out to be a basilisk, you could be in for a spot bother, because they are faster than you are. Oh, for fuck's sake. There's no denying it, this does get really annoying when this keeps happening. Oh, fucking hell. That's a Hydra. Thankfully they are the same speed as Cyclops. Shock horror, I'm not going to take this thing on. And now he's out of range of the sensors, so he's effectively gone. It's typical. That is the first time I've ever had 2 interdictions en route to Cocijo here. Of course it happens now that I'm doing a fucking video on it. Oh, you are really taking the piss now, for fuck's sake. So yeah, this, yeah, it would be a fucking basilisk now. Now, say these things can be a real fucking headache. You've got to boost away from them fast. Once you're beyond 5 kilometers, they will no longer interfere with your FSD, and you can get away just as normal. I was quite lucky there. Right, now you need to get really close to Cocijo before you can drop out. Normally it's 1 megameter, not this time, it's 200 kilometers. There you go. Right, so you want to make sure that your caustic sink launcher is selected, and we'll just boost straight in. And you want to keep on boosting. You want to travel through the maelstrom cloud as quickly as you possibly can, because the caustic damage that you're going to be picking up, it comes along at quite a rate. Holy shit, I was going to say, I'd fucked up there. Well, I did fuck up there. That is not something you want to do. You want to stay away from those fucking mines, because they are a real pain in the arse. And I was concentrating so much on trying to avoid them, even though I made a right bollocks up of it, that I wasn't paying any attention to the caustic sink launcher damage going up. So I've already used 2. You'll probably use about 4 of them just getting through here. So this thing is about to send out its pulse. There we go. So I have the pulse neutralizer ready. There we go. So we've got through that. So now we can start boosting again. And if you do keep boosting away, you can probably get to the centre before a second pulse gets sent out. So this asteroid field, once you reach the asteroid field, you are past the caustic cloud, and you will no longer be taking caustic damage. You can see the caustic damage, the rate is going up, slowed down dramatically, and it has now stopped altogether. So now you want to make sure that you got your beam laser selected, and you want to be ready to start cooling your ship down so that you can't be seen very well. Especially as I've got a fucking Thargoid that's very close by. Oh, okay, it's already disappeared. It must have been an Orthrus, because it didn't even look at me. Now, I've arrived at a rather fortuitous time. It's opened up its heat vents. So, target a heat vent. There we go. Right, that's a good one. Fire your torpedoes into the heat vent. The more heat vents you can hit, obviously, the better. Now I've got two Thargoids that can certainly see me, so I'm going to have to try and avoid them. Okay, that third one I think was a bit too late. Oh no, it did work. So now we've got to go to the other side. You can see the Titan has released its thermal core. Make sure your AX weaponry is selected. There is the exposed core. Okay, so we'll fire the beams to cool us down, and now we start firing the AX weapons. As soon as you've started damaging it, this will then happen. A lot of people panic and try and run away. It doesn't do a vast amount of damage to your ship. Now that fucking Thargoid that can see me will do quite a bit, but this sort of repair field doesn't. So I'm constantly firing to keep my thermal signature as low as possible. So there you go. Now once that's finished, we will eventually get a message telling us how much in credits we've earned from attacking the okay, now see, that didn't do as much as I thought it was going to do. And we also don't have the message telling us how much damage we did to the thermal core. So let's find a place to hide. There's no shortage of them. So these sort of overhanging bits here are pretty good places. So that combined with our very low thermal output, we've lost that Thargoid. So in the transactions, you look there, so I've only made 236,903. Very low amount, but it's enough. It's damage that has been registered. So you could, after that, just piss off back to the Hutner rescue ship, hand that in, you've done enough. You'll be in the top 100 participants, and you will get the 6 frameshift drives once the event is over. So I mean, this is the easiest of any of the, like, you know, offensive missions you can undertake against Thargoids. As it is, while I'm here, let's see how much damage I can actually do. So, see, there's another Thargoid around there somewhere. There we go, right. That's in. On to the next one. If we can get 3, that usually gives us a good amount of time to have the that went in. But yeah, if we can damage 3 of these, yeah, the core is exposed for a decent amount of time for us to be able to there you go, 3 done. I'm going to head straight to the other side and be ready for when, here he goes, the core is about to be ejected out. There it is. Let's give it some welly. And like I say, all I've got are these AX multi-cannons. There it goes. Right. Power back into shields because it's about to do, yeah, there you go, its repair run. say the important thing here is not to panic, so don't try getting away. Just let it do its thing. So yes, you are going to take some hull damage and you will take some shield damage, but it's not a lot. If you keep your thermal output low, there you go. So I took 1% hull damage and 18% shield damage. The shields will obviously recharge, no problemo. Away we go again. So how much did I get for that one? So I'm up to 2.1 million. That one was much better. Now actually would also be a really good time to get your escape plan sorted out. So we'll bring up the map and we'll set the course now. Rescue ship Hutner. So that now when we have to leave we know exactly which direction to go, because the system is already selected. Sounds like there's a Thargoid quite close by. In fact, yeah, let's try and get away from it a bit. Now that could be an interceptor that's leaving. I'll tell you, I'm a good bit too close to the edge of there, so we'll carry on to the next one. Something's just seen us. Another interceptor. It's one that's below us though. Right. Get ready with the torpedoes again. That one's fine. Obviously you can tell it's fine because the colour goes white and you lose the target lock on it. If it hasn't actually gone inside, then yeah, none of those things happen and you need to fire again. So again, we'll go for 3. Excellent. Alright, head round the other side. Here it is. Would help if I selected the right fire group. And there we go. Right. Picks back the systems, ready for its repair routine. This time I'll get the fire group ready for the next run. So that's the 3rd run that I've done. Usually I'm only able to do 3. The most I've ever been able to do before I've got to get away because I've been spotted is 4. Well, I'm about to start my 4th, so this could be a fairly successful one. I've got a Thargoid firing on me, so let's try and get away from him. Now he was firing because obviously he had actually spotted me. It wasn't my thermal signature. There's another Thargoid there. That one that was behind me is still following. There's a glaive that's spotted me as well. That's not good news. I might have to bugger off after all. Yes, I have got the firepower to deal with a glaive, but if I start attacking that, everything else in the area is going to know I'm here. I'd rather try and get away from it by, again, hiding the thermal signature. It looks like it's worked. He's not firing. He's sort of like sweeping the area to try and spot me, but yeah, he's lost us. Alright, here we go. Mistimed it slightly, so I may only get 2 torpedo hits this time. So that one's fine. There's a second. I really want to get a third, but we'll see how we do. We did get a third. That's alright. Now I've overshot. Yeah, I've overshot that a bit. Let's try and get round. There it is. Right, there we are. So that's 4. Can I survive and do a 5th? Make this the most successful run I've done so far. I'll just slowly creep my way forward. Don't really want to put a lot of speed here because then you really do start losing control of your ship, like I was doing there. There we go. Right, so I've got another Sargoid firing away. My shields are down to 42. Oh, I've got quite a few, including scouts now, also spying us. Right, I think it might be time to bugger off. I've got a lot of missiles coming in. Everything is firing away. It really does look like I have been well and truly spotted. But, well, it's all gone quiet again. So my shields are now quite low, 36. I don't have a shield cell bang. This is yet another time when I wish I'd fitted bi-weaves. I really want a 5th time though. How many have I got now? 5.1 million. I mean, we're all right at the moment. Like I said, you don't have to hang around this long. As soon as you do that first one and you've made a few credits because your hits have registered, that's it. You can then bugger off and you don't have to come back here again. You've done everything you need to take part in the CG event. Alright, here we go. Fine. to. Oh, there's a Thargoid that spotted me. Oh, got a fucking glaive that has spotted me. I'm trying to go underneath, making a real meal of it. There we go, so I've made 5 runs, but I can guarantee you once this one is done, I'm getting out of here. There it is. Right, back to Fire Group E with the old caustic sig launchers. Let's get the fuck out of here. So, Luxon Star is selected. Let's try and go as fast as possible. Oh, we're still caught in this. I hope that missile is... Oh, right, shields are offline. That's not great. It's that glaive that's... yeah, there it is. But it's turned round, it's buggered off. Taking out any Thargoid ships does not contribute towards the CG event. Only damage to the Titan. So that's another reason to not worry too much about going after Thargoid ships. The pulse that the Titan sends out will hit us, but when you're on the way out it's not such a big deal, and if you've still got room to collect more of the Thargoid huge energy surge materials, you'll collect another one of those. There it goes, it's charging up. But that blast that hit us will certainly help as far as getting us out of there. So thrusters take longer to come back online, but there we are, we're out of it. Toxic damage has been neutralised, so we are now absolutely fine. So we can just get the fuck out of here. So yeah, they may have taken my shields out, but they're already back up to 68%. Hull damage only 80%, and that's, you know, I was there long enough to do 5 attack runs on the core, which is the most I've ever done since this CG event started. So it is easy. There's no two ways about it. And considering what you stand to gain as a result, it's absolutely worth doing. And, you know, if you are one of those players who, say, avoids Targoid combat because you think you're useless at it, and let's be honest, some of you who have said that to me, and I am saying I'm absolutely convinced that you can easily do it. I think some of you know who you are. I mean, come on, this is as easy as it gets. It's absolutely worth worth giving it a go. So we are back. So damage is, it's not all that. So even though I brought all my limpets, I've got full 16 limpets, I didn't need them. So they are more of an emergency thing, but yeah, absolutely fine. So hand in my 6 million I ended up making. I will lose some of that for my ship launch fighter pilot, but I'm still handing in 5,491,616. And I'm still only going to be in the top 75%. Now this bit is the only bit that is causing a bit of confusion. You've just seen I've handed in like nearly 5.5 million, but it's saying here that I've only handed in 14,883. Now it tries to explain this, it doesn't do a very good job of it, so please note if you have any crew members, blah 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 blah. Right, only direct damage to Titan Cocijo will count towards your contribution. Combat bond value is used to track damage by each pilot. This is not a one-to-one exchange value, though it is directly proportional. Not a great explanation. What it should say is your contribution 14,883 damage done to Cocijo. Saying it's credits just confuses things unnecessarily. You've seen I've handed in millions, not 14,000 odd, and yeah, so don't pay any attention to the fact they're saying credits earned. You do get the full amount that you made. This has just been badly written, like so much else in Elite Dangerous. But there we are. So yeah, to repeat for the billionth time, you only need to do it once. Sign up here, get the necessary equipment onto your ship, head out there to the Titan. Once you're there, say hit the thermal vents when they are open. If you only hit 2, that should be enough. Get round the other side, and the exposed core is there. Start firing away. Once it's sunk back in again, and the repair thing is, the Titan's done its repair cycle, check your transactions. If you have any claims there as a result of doing damage to the Titan, that's it. You've done it. Just get back here, hand it in, and you will receive, say, once this ends. You're currently set for 20 million. That will go up as each tier is met. It's obviously going to have to reach tier 8 before the thing's finished. And every time it's met a tier, the top 100 has gone up by 10 million. So you're probably, you're looking at receiving 80 million just for that one run. And you will receive, say, the double engineered FSD SCO drive, one of each class 2 to class 7, A-rated ones at that. You'd be mad not to do it, and I'd like to think I've shown you just how easy it is. So, yeah, okay, that's it. Job done. Now go away.